Welcome to the 359. I'm Roger Chang.
I'm Ben Fox-Rubin.
Google I.O. kicks off in less than 2 hours, and we're expecting some big updates to Android, Google Assistant, and maybe even that creepy duplex assistant that came out last year.
I can't wait.
And then, of course, there are the rumors of a more affordable Pixel 3a. What are you most looking forward to?
I think the Pixel sounds really interesting. I think that's also been like very heavily leaked. So we are definitely expecting that. I would love to see what the price point is on that. Like, let's say it's something like $500 or something like that. That would be pretty notable. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, it sort of goes back to Google's original roots as the maker or the partner for Nexus phones, right? Those were known for being affordable, premium flagship phones. They kind of gone away with that, largely focused on premium phones that are far more expensive, closer in line with the iPhone 10 or Samsung phones. They clearly felt a lot of pressure, so I'm also looking for those 3A, the Pixel 3A.
The other element that I think is interesting is the Android Q is expected to show off support for foldable phones.
Yes.
That would have been great, but I feel like after what happened with the Samsung Galaxy Fold, they're probably going to underplay that element. I don't really see them leaning in too heavily
It'll
on that.
definitely be one of many elements I think they'll talk about with Android Q. Do you have a guess for what you think Q stands for?
Quaker oatmeal cookies.
Okay, sure.
That was a terrible one.
That was a terrible one.
Sorry.
I was going to say quiche.
Quiche?
Yeah.
Quiche isn't a snack.
I mean, I think they're sweet quiches, right?
Snacky quiche.
Sure. I don't know. All right, so Amazon Go stores are starting to proliferate, albeit very, very slowly. We finally got one in New York. You get to check it out. Tell me about, why should we care about this Amazon Go store?
Okay, so this one just opened today at Brookfield Place. It's an upscale mall near the World Trade Center. The big difference here, because this is the 12th Amazon Go store, so what's actually different here is that this is the first Amazon Go store to accept cash.
Ooh.
So Amazon Go was literally created to get rid of cash, cashiers, lines, all that other stuff, so you could literally walk in and walk out in a couple of seconds. There's been a lot of blowback to the concept of going cashless because it's really considered to be exclusionary to certain people that either don't have a credit card or don't have a phone. So this is Amazon's effort to respond to that.
So what was it like being in that store, and was there someone who took the cash? How did that work?
So they walked me through a demo because they knew people were going to ask about this, since this was the first store that did this. And essentially what you do is you get to a greeter, and the greeter lets you in, and then you walk around, get everything that you need to get, and then you go to a little counter, and somebody will basically scan in all your stuff and give you a paper receipt, and it's not exactly as techy as you would expect an Amazon Go store to be.
It's just like any other store, basically?
Yes, but you don't have to have a special app, and you can just pay with cash if you want to. So from that regard, it is now more inclusive.
It does feel like it defeats the whole purpose of that Amazon Go store, though, doesn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
No kidding.
As long as we're clear about that. Lastly, let's talk about 5G. There's an Ericsson survey out that found that U.S. consumers are willing to pay a premium for next-generation cellular service, although we're already seeing it with Verizon charging $10 extra for their 5G service.
Is it like $10 extra per phone
per month
that they're charging?
Yeah.
Per phone per month?
Yeah.
So if you're on a family plan with 5 phones, you're getting charged $50.
Let's be real. No one's on a family plan with 5G phones right now. That's just not practical. I'll just say this. Right now, I don't think the premium is warranted. Even if people are willing to pay more, they shouldn't. The coverage is just not there yet. I think once the networks are actually built out, they'll actually be worth it. But for now, it's still kind of a novelty.
I have a controversial statement to make here, which is shouldn't have to pay a premium at all. Isn't this just like the next iteration? Just make it faster and keep charging us these exorbitant fees that you've been charging us for years. Like, why do I have to pay even more money?
To your point, I don't think they charge a premium for 4G LTE.
Yeah.
So there you go. All right, for more of these stories, check us out on CNET. I'm Roger Chang.
I'm Ben Fox-Rubin.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for joining us for the recording of the audio podcast. You can subscribe to that using the links in the description below, as well as take out links to further develop every story in article form on CNET.com. For the meantime, we're going to start jumping into the chat and taking your questions and comments to keep the conversation going, to find out a little bit more about you and what you guys want to know more about. It helps kind of fuel the news team here. Right out the gate, though, let's talk about Android Q. Hunter Lee says candy with a Q. Mo A says cream with a Q.
Terrible.
These are
I'm
all terrible
sensing a
names.
theme.
These are terrible names. They're not real words or names. You're just adding Q to words. Doesn't work. I don't know. It's good.
Do you think Google cares?
It's a really bad one. It's also so funny to me that this is the thing that gets so much attention every single year.
Yep.
That they're like, oh, okay, there's some fun new features. Some of them are cool. Some of them not so interesting. You know, these are slow incremental improvements.
Right.
I would say over the course of 5 years, maybe you're really going to notice like very big changes. But then we all get excited about like, oh, what's the name going to be? Meanwhile, Apple just does numbers. Nobody cares.
Well, look, it's a lot of these features have already been in beta for a while, right? So it's not a lot of the stuff isn't particularly new. So it's like it's the newsiest part of the Android announcement at I/O. So and it's like it's a fun little thing.
It
like,
is fun.
It's a
It's
fun
fun.
guessing game.
And
Q
who
is a
doesn't like fun more than Ben Fox-Rubin? Nobody.
And look, Q is a tricky letter to work with.
Sure.
I really want to see what Q is going to be.
Quail pie. I don't know.
Quail pie? Is that a thing?
A pie made out of quail. No, it's not, but maybe they'll make it for
Jeez.
this.
That doesn't seem sweet at all.
That's better than cream with a Q.
Yeah.
I'm officially throwing my hat in the ring on this one. I'm saying quail egg omelet.
Quail egg
Quail
omelet.
egg omelet. Also not sweet.
So long.
Totally savory.
Send more.
Quail
Send more
egg
suggestions.
omelet with sprinkles on top.
Okay. All right.
Or
That
Jimmy's if you're from New Jersey.
Wait. Oh, yeah. Of course.
Okay.
Also, folks from Philly.
Okay, let's go ahead and take some questions. Here's an interesting thought from CMDR Trium, saying Amazon could introduce credit to customers if they really wanted to go cashless, but they won't. Now, on that note, Amazon's kind of infused. They don't have like... They've participated with credit card companies in the past, but they don't have a full-on like Amazon credit card, do they?
No, they have many.
Yeah,
Do
they have
they?
a lot, but they partner with like Visa. They partner with different banks.
But see, that's
Correct.
partnering.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
saying, do you think they're ever going to go the route of Apple and just make their own card?
Apple also partners with their own card.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
a partner.
So
Well, Apple partners with Goldman Sachs.
Correct.
Which, actually, I don't think they do any other credit cards. As far as I know, I think they're like the first partner.
I don't know if that's 100% true, but Goldman is not very well known for
credit cards.
doing a lot of credit
Yeah.
cards. But that's off the top of my head, I'm not 100% sure with that. The Apple Card, they also partner with MasterCard. So MasterCard
Yep.
is the payment processor. Goldman is the issuer.
Yeah.
For Amazon, they have about 6 different credit cards. But Brian, you bring up a good point that if Amazon wanted to do something like this, and I feel like some version of this exists, you could create like a cash-based card or an Amazon Prime-based card that you would
Yeah.
be able to load up as a debit card and then buy stuff at a Go store. The problem is that to get in and out of a Go store, you need a phone. So you need a
Yeah.
smartphone to log in and log out, and that's basically how like all those cameras actually recognize that it's Ben that just showed up at the store, and now he's
Right.
picking up peanut butter, and we know what he's doing. So yeah.
Cucumber with a Q from Jack, Kashif, Quacker Jacks, Michael Brown, Android Cookie with a Q, Moe
Oh, that's possible.
Chip with a Q. That's not how English works.
I think cookie is actually possible, but not really. That's such a cop out.
Yeah.
We're getting a little closer. Well done, commenters. We're getting there.
Quaker Oats.
Quaker Oats. That's what I said.
You said that already?
I said Quaker oatmeal cookies, and you were like, "That's terrible."
I didn't say that. I totally would have been cool with that one, actually.
Roll the tape.
All right, if somebody can actually figure that out and tweet it to us, and then Google unveils it, and somebody was right, I'm gonna send them a T-shirt.
Do it.
Nice.
Yeah. So go ahead and send those along. But anyways, in the meantime, let's talk a little bit. Well, no, we got some Amazon Go questions here from.
Sure.
Do
Yeah.
you see Amazon Go having some kind of conveyor belt when you order from a screen. Like the conveyor belt will dispense your items right into your physical cart when you're done.
No, it doesn't work that way with a
No,
conveyor belt.
it's like a convenience store. You go and you pick and grab stuff and put in your bag. And
Yeah,
the camera's kind of, yeah.
Well, it's a hard one to process because you think if Amazon did a store, it'd be something fancy and high-techy, but it's really not. It's just...
No, it's super
almost
high
trans-
It is-
techy.
no,
but it's not. The experience is still walking in with a cart and throwing crap in a basket.
Well, yeah.
Intentionally so.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
told me that yesterday, is that they do not want people to have a different shopping experience when they're actually at the store. So you log in at the turnstiles with your phone. There's a special Amazon Go app. You walk around, you just load up your cart, and then you walk out of the turnstiles. That's it.
That's pretty sweet.
So there's no conveyor belt or whatever, but what they do have, if you look up, there are hundreds of custom-made cameras that are watching your every move, literally, to see what you're doing, what you're picking up, what you're putting back. Maybe you put back something in the wrong place. They're all watching every single element of that. It was one other interesting thing is that they were showing me two different kinds of coffee, like coffee packages that look very, very similar, except for like some of the wording. So one of them was the house blend and the other one was something else. They also have weight machines inside each one of the, like inside some shelving to help the store know that you picked up this coffee or that coffee. And you can also read some of the labels. There's like so much tech in those stores, and like they intentionally try to make it invisible so that you're not really paying attention to it, which is interesting. Privacy-minded people would hate this store, and they probably won't go in it because they're tracking everything about you in the store.
Brian's idea reminds me of those conveyor belt sushi places, the ones I went to in Japan. They're all like outfitted with tablets now, so you can pick and choose what food you want, and then like a little toy train zooms up with a little
awesome.
sushi on the plate.
But that's like a restaurant from
Yeah.
kitchen to table kind of thing. That's a serviceless.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about, but yeah, that's not what Amazon's going for.
Do they
No.
play the like fun music when like the train comes?
One of the restaurants I went to did have like a whimsical music that played as the
I
train
love
came.
that.
It's the best.
I was thinking like the cartoon working in a factory song, like do 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 do
It
do.
wasn't quite that
No, all right.
whimsical.
Thanks for
Sorry.
that copyright strike, Ben.
Yeah.
Hey, if I hum it, isn't it okay?
No.
Okay, sorry.
For what it's worth, if they don't play the Magic Trolley theme from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, it doesn't count. Let's take some more questions. Timothy says, ever since I got call screen on Pixel 3, I haven't really had any spam calls anymore. Anyone else in the same boat as I am? Now, I don't own a Pixel 3, but has that been an active pursuit of Google? Because that is enough to get me to switch.
It's not one that they're vocal about. Maybe they talked about it last year with their Android update, but I actually haven't heard that many folks talk about that. But if it works
Agreed.
for you, that's fantastic because robocalls suck and they ruin all of our lives. So kudos.
Yeah.
Kudos to Google if they actually put a stop to that.
Here's the thing with the Pixel. I haven't seen the most recent numbers of like market share, but their market share is really small.
Oh yeah, and they talked about the pressure that the Pixel line is facing right now, particularly because it's marketed as a premium phone. I think that's why you're going to see a mid-tier price phone later today, because it's just an acknowledgement that like not everyone can pay, $700 for a phone.
It does. I do find that really interesting that like Google creating their own phone could not reasonably compete with Samsung. Like Samsung is the biggest phone maker, and you would think that because they develop Android,
Right.
that they would be able to create this like super duper pairing similar to like how Apple does.
Keep in mind that the phone is really only sold exclusively through Verizon. I mean, you can get it unlocked online, but people don't buy phones online generally. So I think being stuck on Verizon, and I think Verizon gave it a bit of a marketing push early on, but that's kind of gone away. Being on just that one carrier has definitely hurt. Jessica Dolker had a great commentary about why Pixel probably could do a lot better if they weren't tied to one carrier.
They're definitely promoting the hell out of it. I see commercials for the Pixel all the time. So Google is not giving up on it. But yeah, it is interesting to see that, they're not cornering the market by any stretch of the imagination.
Hunter Lee says that sounds useful. They should screen outgoing calls too to stop drunk dials. It sounds like I need to get a Pixel. Mo A, Family Guy, cool quip. Hunter Lee,
Cool quip.
Quetzal
Nice.
chocolate codal. But anyways, Mo says Quakers probably wins. That's
Okay.
that right now that seems like the front runner to me as well for some reason.
They did one year do a like something that was trademarked, right? It was
A couple
Oreo.
of times. They've done Kit Kat. They've done
They've done
Oreo.
Kit Kat
yeah,
and Oreo.
they've done a couple of branded ones.
So Quaker is certainly a possibility.
Quaker Oats, but Quaker oatmeal cookies. I guess that
So
idea
long.
was I don't know. And
yeah.
they've already
No, they didn't do oatmeal. They didn't do oatmeal because they did Oreo. But oatmeal was definitely floated as an idea.
really though because they're all supposed to be sweet.
I agree.
Oatmeal's
Oatmeal
sweet.
can be sweet, I guess.
Yeah, you put maple syrup.
I don't.
Most people do sweeten their oatmeal.
No, they don't.
A lot of people
Most? I don't know most.
We do.
do. I mean,
I do not.
I
like
know
the
more
regular-
people that buy the prepackaged
Publix.
cinnamon
Wait,
stuff.
do regular people really sweeten their oatmeal?
What? Otherwise, it's horrible.
I mean, that's
tastes
the,
like mud.
the only reason you eat it is because it's healthy and it's horrible.
No.
Wow.
A lot
What's
of
the
people
point of
buy
eating
like
oatmeal?
the little like to go packages with the cinnamon and stuff
Oh
in them.
God, yeah. Actually, I hate that.
The point of eating oatmeal is to like
Tell me.
hold the bowl and like blow on the steam by the window and watch like the foliage change. It's a very like fall feeling.
Okay.
I feel like Ben is pitching a commercial
I
idea
know,
right now.
right?
Or all right, we got a little bit of time left. Let's take some questions. This one's really, really good. Yan Hao Chen asks, will there be recommendations in Amazon Go, like on the website? So like you walk in and I'm hungry for cookies, and if you give a mouse a cookie, you better get some milk.
Very good reference. Wow.
Oh,
Great
yeah.
references. At this point, no, but it does make sense to me that they would like send you push notifications for certain types of things on sale.
Oh my God, I can
if you're
imagine.
regularly
That's not a
buying
terrible
them,
idea. That's an invasion
I mean, like,
of
yeah,
privacy I can
you
get
pick up a
behind.
bag of cookies and your phone dings. You're like, oh, there's milk just 3 feet to your left.
Yep.
That's
It's-
scary and helpful.
Yeah,
at the same
that's
time?
that's more helpful. And honestly, I feel like supermarkets could probably do something like that. Like if they were to convince their customers to join like an email list
Yeah.
or download their app, they could do something similar where they're like, we see that you're buying this thing all the time. Here's a
Right.
coupon for it. They usually do that at
Could
checkout.
you imagine that happening in real time? Like, we just saw that you purchased cereal.
Yeah.
Milk is in the next aisle, and it's $2 off right now.
I as far as like invasive technology, I am totally not against the idea of telling you to buy milk with cookies. I'm like, okay,
Especially
yes.
if you get like $1 off.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. There you go.
Can you just imagine if Facebook started their own store and used like Amazon ad space in it? It's like, you just bought this pair of sneakers. Would you like to buy this
yeah.
pair
Would
of
you like to
sneakers
buy these
again?
sneakers
And
again?
again?
Yes.
And again? God, I hate that.
Yeah. Yeah. You would think that they would know that you just made that purchase, but they never do.
Well, you liked it once. You better like it for the rest of your life.
That's right.
Hey, shout out our Wallop who's eating oatmeal, and you guys gave him the idea to put maple syrup in it. Never thought of that before?
Hey.
Come on, man.
Nice
Actually,
job,
I've never
Arwalla.
done oatmeal with maple syrup.
Yeah, you should try that.
I know, but it defeats the purpose of eating oatmeal.
No, it doesn't. Not if you
Oatmeal
get...
is supposed to be healthy. It lowers your cholesterol. That's why I eat oatmeal.
I'd like to throw
don't
out the
Pouring
point
maple
that-
syrup on it defeats the purpose of that.
Don't get that trash Mrs. Buttersworth, like, sugar crap. Get the real stuff from Vermont, man.
I'm not pouring any syrup on. That's.
I like both. I'd
Anyway.
like to say that the real stuff is
I mean,
good.
well, yeah.
and
When
the-
we're
and the
if we're
crap
talking
is
about
good.
syrup, yes, I agree with Brian. The Vermont stuff, that's legit.
I'll never go back. Ever go back. That candy crap.
Dude,
By the way, this show has gone completely off the rails. It's not even an Android O. There's no
it's just
justification
food.
for this conversation.
We're just talking food now, which is great.
I skipped breakfast. Deal with it.
Same here.
For the record, thank you to everybody in the chat. Point out to me that CMDR is short for Commander. So Commander Trium, welcome to the fold. Do you think facial recognition will be used to record your purchasing decisions too? That's another really
Oh,
good question.
God. I certainly hope not.
Oh.
It's totally
I mean-
possible.
Amazon's got the technology.
They do. Yeah, I wish they had provided me with a little bit more information when I did ask them some privacy questions. They directed me to their privacy policy, which is the same one that they have for Amazon.com online. So there's not a lot of direct references to Amazon Go. What they do with the information after you go into a store, if they store like the recordings indefinitely, I don't know why they would do that, but I would have liked to see them have a little bit more transparency and be a little bit more upfront with, this is how we use the information. If you read the privacy policy, it's pretty vague.
Maybe down the line they'll kick like $10 off your Prime subscription if you register your face.
It's I'm so sad to say that's probably going to happen.
It seems plausible, right?
It's incredibly plausible.
Sure.
All right, we are just shy of an hour away from Google I/O, which of course you can watch using the CNET video streams from CNET.com, YouTube, Periscope, live stream, all across the board. Make sure you tune back in for that, see what exciting new things are going to be hitting the streets soon. In the meantime, a little bit of speculation. Darius asks, do you think Stadia will become as big as Google hopes?
That is a really good question.
It's a loaded question.
Wait. As big as what?
As big as Google hopes.
Oh, hopes. I don't know. It's so early days right now. I mean, there's a lot of big promises with Stadia in terms of the quality, the streaming, but you also need to have the right device for it. I hope it'll become a reality. I mean, I think streaming gaming is definitely the future of where that industry is going, but it's going to take a while. And connectivity, it's not consistent, across homes in America, right? So I can imagine in places where you've got a great, steady broadband connection, Stadia can work well, but that's not for everyone, and it won't be for a while. But I'm hopeful. I mean, it's a great idea.
What about duplex? Do we think we're going to see any kind of refinement to that today?
I'm surprised this is the first time a duplex question has come up, although I guess we're obsessed about Q foods.
Well, I mean, some people have chatted about it in our chat, just being able to finally have used it, which is interesting. I haven't tried it yet. But do we think they're going to any kind of forward movement on it? Because right out the gate, that was massive. Like, it was innovative. It was kind of scary, let's be honest, and
it was
bizarre, but
totally scary.
It looked so almost seamless and flawless, and I'm sure with actual real-world testing out there have been plenty of bugs to sort out. Do you think there's any consideration about the things he talked about where it'd have like a disclaimer in it and being like forward-facing, making you aware you're talking to a bot kind of thing?
I think we'll definitely see updates to duplex. Like how that's going to look remains to be seen, but I would say it was more than just a little scary. I think it was very scary. I think the backlash to duplex was very real, and I imagine surprised Google a bit. I think they unveiled that thing. They're like, hey, check out this cool science project we've got, and people like freaked out because it was so good at mimicking human speech that
how could this possibly go wrong?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I imagine they'll talk about duplex in terms of what form it'll take. I think it's a little up in the air at this point.
My expectation would be, this is a developer conference, so they're going to try to talk about, here are a bunch of different features for duplex. I know we're talking about, disclosures and disclaimers and privacy stuff.
They're probably not into that.
They might reference that a little bit, but my feeling is that they were very specific with their demos last year, and I would think a year later they would try to say, like, here are all the additional things that duplex could potentially do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as the agenda for today goes, do we know if there's anything coming for Waymo?
I don't believe that there's a lot for Waymo. Waymo is kind of like its own separate business, so I don't imagine there's going to be a lot of updates to Waymo.
Andrew's asking about a standalone Daydream VR headset. I know that's on Ayaz's list, on his top 5 things he wants to see at Google I/O. What do we think?
I mean, Oculus Quest just came out last week at F8.
So ripe for
sure
competition.
Google will be talking about VR. I'm not quite sure that they'll be ready to put out a standalone VR headset yet.
Got it.
The other thing that we should talk about if people are interested in hardware, and I guess this isn't news similar to like the Pixel 3a, is that they're expected to announce the Nest Hub Max.
Oh yeah,
which is a smart display with like a Nest camera built in. So they're probably going to spend quite a bit of time talking about that. If you recall, the leak actually came from Google. It was from the basement, where they had some page that referenced the Nest Hub Max, which had a 10-inch display. So we're definitely expecting to see that because, they basically leaked it themselves.
There you go.
Whoops. They've done that a few times.
Yep.
So does that mean when I watch Hulu, instead of every other ad being for Facebook Portal, it'll be for the Google Nest Home Max, whatever the hell it is?
Sure.
Sure.
I don't know.
Those Facebook ads are pretty aggressive.
Yes. Somebody knows the reference.
Neil
I don't-
Patrick
I don't
Harris
mind
is-
watching Neil Patrick Harris.
He's great. He's great.
People
But the
also
Portal is
love
not.
the Portal. The people that have the Portal seem to really like it, and I don't understand it.
I don't get it.
But it's got like enough different about it that people seem to be into it. So good for them.
And all the customers are all related to Mark Zuckerberg. So,
Yep.
You know, that helps.
Yeah.
Here's one that we overlooked that is definitely ripe for development. Michael Brown points out, I want to see an actual messaging platform that competes with iMessage, WhatsApp,
yeah.
and Messenger. And after we're seeing all the different ones kind of folding in on each other, do you think today's going to be the day we're going to get like that definitive, singular, centralized Google messaging platform?
I don't know. Maybe.
Didn't they just kill off Allo?
Yeah, they introduce and kill off messaging apps constantly. I think they talked about
It's like that
RCS.
last scene in Goodfellas. You remember Goodfellas, where just like they do the montage with the sad music, and every scene
yeah.
turns
Like
away,
everybody
and
gets
another
killed.
one
Yeah,
is
yeah,
dead,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
another. That's what Google's doing to their messaging right now.
Kind of. I feel like it's a succession. Like they introduce a character and then kill them off a little bit, and then there's like another character that comes out and they kill them off, and there's a sequence to it. I don't know.
I don't think they're going to announce another one. It just
I don't think
feels
so either.
Too soon after they killed off Allo.
Yeah.
But
Poor Allo.
anything could happen. I never used Allo.
I used it once.
I downloaded it.
Isn't
and
that the
then
problem?
Didn't use it.
Yeah, that's the issue.
All right, we got time for one more from Darius. Do you think that in the future Google will be able to use a personal phone owner voice to make Google Duplex work? So he's saying like actually emulate your voice in the software.
Scary
Oh,
idea.
why would you even ask that? I'm sure Google could do it. I'm sure technically they probably could do it now.
Well, I could like call in sick to you, and you'd never know. I could be at the next Avengers movie.
I guess, or you could just fake. Can you just call in sick while you're in the bathroom somewhere and then just go to your
Just like
Avengers movie?
cough a little.
Yeah,
and
like
be
I don't really understand. Like, why
That
would you
be
need AI
so
to do
cool. Yeah, but like then you could kind of like do it like Instagram filters where you'd be like cough more or sniffle
that?
more.
Oh.
That would be kind of fun.
But what if I asked you a question? Would Duplex be smart enough to? I guess Duplex is smart enough to answer the follow-up question.
I hope so. What would
Unless
the
I-
follow-up question be? Are you
I'm
going to be
like-
in tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm like
I don't know.
Oh, or when will you be back?
Or what are you? What
Are you
What
dead?
are you? What are you sick with? Gastroenteritis. You'd be like, really? Because you sound like you have the sniffles. No, it's gastroenteritis.
You gotta throw in like a here every once in a while.
Yeah.
It's
That
true.
was the technology.
Yeah.
Is that it sounded like a human voice and said a few times.
I don't want Google Duplex to sound like me as much as I want it to sound like an exaggerated form of my Western New Yorkiness meets Canadianness. So like the nasally, angry Western New York, I had a cheek to wagga.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
You could have an Instagram filter for that. Make it more Canadian sounding.
Make it sound like the guys from Letterkenny. Like, I suggest you let that one marinate.
Actually, that'd be pretty smart. Like, it'd be my voice, but with an English accent would be kind of dope.
People were so freaked out by the first version. Like having it like be you sounds so
Yeah.
horrible.
That's not something I really want. I mean, like I said, I think Google could probably do it now, but I don't think they'd want to.
We fall back onto the Jeff Goldblum theory. Just because you could, did you ever think if you should?
Yep.
That's the life we live right now. All right, we're out of time. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Make sure you stick around. We'll be kicking off the Google I.O. stream in about 44 minutes right here on YouTube, Periscope, live stream, CNET.com, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, we'll see you back here tomorrow where I'm sure we'll do a full recap of all today's announcements. In the meantime, Roger.
Yep. The 359 is available on iTunes, TuneIn, FeedBurner, Stitcher, Google Play, Google Podcasts, the Amazon Echo, of course, CNET.com. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.